Praise the Lord. I thank God again for being here one more time. My name is Calvin again. I am behind the mountain in Philly Valley. I just come by again to let you know you're on the platform, the place where it have healthy discussion. I come on the air, I come on the YouTube, Facebook, WhatsApp. I come everywhere at 10 o'clock in the morning, the youths, at 1 o'clock with the women, and 6 o'clock with the men. You know, and today I have a powerful man with me. We come to talk about business. You know, because the COVID-19 is squeezing business right now. I know 4 of my business partners right now. They clean the shop. You know, they pack up. They're glad to pack up because why? They could not even run the business before COVID-19. So COVID-19 have an assignment. It came with an assignment. God allowed for an assignment. The same way you have assignment. He have assignment. She have assignment. COVID-19 have an assignment. And COVID-19 assignment, first is to make one get fearful. And to make one believe they'll die. But God says no one can pluck out of his hand the approval and the blood of God. When the COVID-19 come to make you believe, you will die. Wear a mask. You know, don't go here, don't go there. Quarantine, shut down. You know, stay home, 6 feet. And they come to bring that here. Why? To get God people to unite, get stronger, and to awake all the demons, all the demon influenced people who have been influenced with sin and wrong living, is to make them aware that God wants to recruit them. So, sir, madam, if you're watching this program, God wants to recruit you and bring you into his kingdom. My name is Carl Media, and I thank God. I always make a statement here. Whenever a plague or a disease come or whatever come, or a virus come, it came here, something must die. There is no way a disease can pass, a plague pass, and nothing die. And I thank God, it's either you die if the economy stay floating and stay reckless, or either if they say quarantine, stay home, lockdown, shut down, the economy will die and you will starve and see hunger and stress and problem and frustration. So every time a plague or disease comes, something has to die. But Carl Mead here will live because God has prepared me 4 years ago how to survive an epidemic. He has prepared Podium Broadcasting Network for time like this. He said, when everybody crying and running, I'm going to raise your voice. So the platform was precisely approved by God 4 years ago to be around now to bring to you that discussion. I thank you for being right now, and the platform we're on for a long time is a place where we will have healthy discussion. I go on Facebook and watching some pictures and they're crying and say they don't know what to do. Man, do something. I say occupy till I come. I see big pictures saying, submit to Caesar, do what the government say, and you have to go out. And I have faith, but you have to life. And they're putting people panic in the church. And the church is supposed to be a place where miracle and healing take place. If you're sick, find a church, or find a pastor, or find some prayer group. I guarantee you, God will heal you because God is still the healing business. When I come back, you'll meet my guest now as a businessman, a millionaire businessman. This man have a millionaire business. I do it personally. You have a big business doing good, and you have a Christian godly business, and you run a business from top, and you have quality and standard, and you have integrity. And I thank God for him being the show. When we come out, you'll be this man. Let's take a break. See you back. Hi, Carl Mead here on the platform. Welcome to the platform, the place for healthy discussion. We are here every day, 10 a.m., 1 p.m., 6 p.m. daily, in the place of healthy discussion. I'm your host, Carl Mead. See you there on the platform. Praise God, I'm back again at the platform, and we have today I have a guest with me, a businessman. You know, he also a man of God. He loved God. He believed in God, and I believe I met this man. I know him years ago, but now this man, when I know he didn't have all this set of money, this set of business, this set of ideas, and money is not cash. Money is intelligence. This man can turn his thought to make money. He don't sleep when he has to wake up. And I see, so money to him and I is intelligence. You can use your thought to make money. Your money, thought time making money in your home, in your bed lying down. Hakim, welcome. So, welcome. Hey! You say, I have to maintain this. Right now, the police are watching me to see if I'm shaking people's hand. We have one mask. And come and stop a program. So I can't shake your hand because I know you have that, but I can't shake your hand because somebody watching the child. You see. Hakim, welcome. Hakim Mohammed. Hakim Mohammed. Hakim, what kind of business you have? What kind of business you have there?
Well, I have a transport business in which I do transport for companies from the ports to the warehouses. Or even move out people. I do work for the embassy also. Different embassies.
So you are self-employed.
Self-employed.
How long has you done not self-employed?
Well, I started in 2001.
So like almost 19 years then.
19 years ago, but I started out very small.
With a small little truck.
A small little truck.
See that great thing starts small. You didn't have no big idea. A little small van, a little truck. Go ahead.
Well, actually, I had to borrow the money to start the business.
Right.
When I borrowed the money, I had to end up going and work for 6 months to fix up the van, the truck, the little small van, in order to have it in roadworthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they take off.
Yeah, take off from there.
This is what I'm talking about here. Those who are watching right now, listen to this man because why? Great things start small. And he did not start big. But he had foresight. He didn't have only insight. And I thank God today as he has grown to be but what makes it successful? He is his own boss. That is what, because he's the own boss. So his company cannot shut down. So you're doing this with your work right now. And what is the time for work? You work whenever you want to.
Well, before COVID-19, I was actually didn't have time for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have time for myself. I was so busy.
And you had work.
Work right through. Yeah, I have workers right through.
Right.
And when this COVID-19 coming now, I was glad for the rest. Because I know for myself.
You're glad for the rest.
I was glad for the rest.
COVID-19 brought a rest a millionaire businessman.
Yeah.
You see, sometimes all things work together for God. Maybe God want the man to rest.
Yeah.
Because he was going night and day making money. You understand me? He and his whole staff around the clock and everything. But COVID-19 come home. And how long is the rest home? 5 weeks, 6 weeks?
The rest about 3 weeks.
3 weeks home.
3 weeks home.
So that COVID-19 did you a good.
Yeah.
It come for good and it come for bad.
But the nice thing about it too, with that 3 weeks, I was still getting money, although I wasn't getting work. Work that I did before, I was still generating the money. The company was still paying me, and that was a plus for me.
So you're making money while you rest.
While I rest.
That is what I'm talking about. That is God. See, this is our business plan here. Now, since COVID-19 come now, do you think COVID-19 has brought an attack on all businesses?
Yes, it has.
In what way?
Well, normally we generate money in order to provide for our families.
Right.
Right. Now, when the government shut down the businesses now, practically nothing was coming into the country.
Right.
And people more or less was feeling like if no hope. You understand? They was feeling like they had no hope. And they was just wondering when the government will start back the economy.
Have an extension.
Extension. Yeah. So it's prolonging still because when you check it out, it's just the restaurant start back. But what people will buy, what people go in the restaurant to buy if they don't have money? When you think about it, what they going and buy? They will just buy the basic groceries.
Right. The restaurant and all will have a starvation because
they'll have a starvation
because
too.
people right now have to hold back their money.
Yeah.
Because after being home for 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
You had to buy groceries, buy food 6 weeks. So COVID-19 came and brought a damper on the whole world. And many countries, there are countries right now still quarantine home and can't go on lockdown and everything. I thank God in Trinidad here, we don't have a kind of little liberation to move around. But we are limited still.
Yeah.
You know, when COVID-19 came and lockdown, I was always out. But I don't believe COVID-19 have the qualification to keep me down because God tell me go, and when God tell me go, I will be protected. COVID-19 never kept me down. And I always had the rest because I'm also self-employed. I work for God. So, and business right now, so would you say a lot of business right now have to downsize or have to close down?
Yeah, they have to downsize and close down.
Why it is? Why?
Because even this time period where they was waiting for the government to start back the economy, plenty of them was using up their money that they had put down to pay the workers still, thinking that the government would start back the economy in a month time.
Yeah.
Now it reached 6 weeks and they're unable to pay their employees again.
And employees right now are complaining because they need revenue from the job.
Yeah.
So the business sector has been damaged.
Yeah, it's been damaged, yes.
So and that is why I heard today I was driving, 4 of my colleagues, right? One in a mall and 3. I have seen so much billing right now. I pass and see some stores empty, some places empty, and not paid for rent.
Yeah.
And I see people, a lot of people right now paid for rent empty, vacant, and they had things there before COVID-19.
Yeah.
I can remember going places and seeing, and I know I see ghost building right now because why? COVID-19 has come right now to shut things down.
Yeah.
And as a businessman, right, one of the key things of you being successful, I believe, is being self-employed.
Yeah, being self-employed.
Explain what advantage self-employed have and a person working for a company.
Okay. For a person working for a company, like I work for a company for 6 months. And with that 6 months, we talk about in 2001. With that 6 months, I was working for $80 a day.
Right.
Just barely being able to pay to travel to work and to actually get lunch and breakfast and things. That was just enough money to get breakfast and travel to work and back. And to me, it wasn't making sense to me. I said, Lord, because all I'm a businessman, I believe in God too.
Right, you believe in God.
I'm a Christian businessman.
Right.
And I said, Lord, this is not making sense. I want to be able to decide to work hard and to determine how much money I make a day. I shouldn't settle for $80 a day. If I want to make 800 a day, no problem.
Right.
If I want to make 8,000 a day, yeah, I put in my mind to work. Yeah, I put in my mind to work. And this is where I started my transport company. It wasn't registered as yet because I wanted to get kicking and going first. And I started making 100 a day. It was still better than making 80 a day. Then I started to make a 500 and a 300 and I was able to work and to work my way up.
Yeah.
And from working my way up from that small little van, I was able to buy a next pickup, a bigger one, a 1-ton pickup. And with that now I was able to do larger jobs
Right.
rather than making trips with the
So
small
God
van.
pushing you.
Pushing me, yeah.
Keep pushing because why? Your integrity and your honesty bring qualification for success.
Yes.
So when you're walking, anytime you walk in integrity, no matter where, COVID-19 cannot handle a person who walking in integrity. Remember that. Once you have integrity, God will make sure you survive and you surface. That's like Job. Job was suffering and he still had integrity. Integrity is a qualification that impressed God. And what this man is saying here, the reason why he's successful, he maintained integrity with his business, and God has enlarged on the boundaries. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, so I upgraded from that now and I got a smaller, an next 1-ton, but a enclosed truck. And with all this, I had to be taking loans. I had to be taking loans from the credit union and trying to make ends meet because there were no new vehicles, but at the end of the day, I was able to do my own mechanic and save on that money also. And from there, I started upgrading, and then I went to getting a 7-ton truck, a flatbed truck. So you recognize now, the more you upgrade yourself, you're able to get into the different other avenues of larger scale business.
Right.
And then I recognize now that the flatbed truck, I could only do so much. When you check it out in the country, let me say you're using 7,000 flatbed trucks as an example, you still limit yourself. And I wanted to upgrade again. I say, Lord, I started to think, I say, Lord, what to do again? And one of the greatest things God has given you is our brain. And most of us as use it just to go to work, come back home, go work, come back home, go to church on Sunday, come back home. But the greatest thing God gave you is our brain. You have to think. So I started to think, I say, all right, what about if I get into crane work? So I was able to purchase a small crane, a 3-ton crane, with the help of a friend. He told me, all right, now I told him I'm interested, but I didn't have the money. But I had the faith.
Had the faith.
Yeah.
You see, COVID-19 can't handle a person with a God kind of faith. When you have the God kind of faith, you will beat the system. You will win. Faith, a person who masters faith does not lose. Because without faith, it's impossible to please God. And I thank God we're hearing this man track record of a business place. COVID-19 you will only suffer if your faith is dead or your faith is dying. Because that's what it comes for. It comes to challenge you and test you. And I thank God that we master faith.
Yeah.
When you master faith, you will survive in an epidemic and a plague and everything. Faith is the key that unlocks heaven door. And I thank God for that. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah. So when I upgraded to this 3-ton truck with a crane, I got the opportunity to on a pay plan.
So you pay for the plan and going.
Yeah. So I was paying.
So you as a businessman now, all these strategies, did you learn that?
Well,
So you were self-developed.
Self-developed. It was developed.
So you walk by faith and
Yeah.
you
So
take risks.
I used the biblical process.
And you took
well.
risks because you
I
had
took
no
risks.
money, you take a loan, sign paper here.
Yeah.
Okay, and now you reach this state today. You reach a state today right now where you have 5 or 6 trucks.
5 trucks.
You
Yeah.
have 5 trucks right now.
Yeah.
And you have employees working for you and you can walk when you want. Because there's some of them may call out to 1:30 at night. I mean the money trouble or forward or favorable.
Well, what I didn't tell you is I got called out last night. And so all 1 o'clock in the morning, I taking out car from ditch
Yes,
and putting it on a wrecker.
yeah.